Hello, Weebs and Normies. Welcome to the Anime Club. I'm Graham.
And I'm George.
All right, George. I was very excited for this episode because I know it's going to be jam-packed. I know it's going to be awesome, and it's going to be sick and full of action. And those are things that I really love. However, when we prepped up for this, I now see that the episode is called A Magnificent End. And I'm not going to lie.
Yep.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all, actually. That sounds scary. For multiple reasons.
Yes, you're thinking character death.
Character death or the end of the season is an inevitability, so that's that. But we're not there yet, so that's one thing. But character deaths is the thing that's scaring me the most.
I hope that's not the case. We did talk a lot about it last episode. I'm just gonna... I don't have a rebuttal. I'm just going to pretend it has to do with something else. What? I can't come up with something?
Oh, no, George. No.
But, yeah, I hope it's not of any of the characters. I've grown to like them. As the week, like you have, I don't know about you, I'm sure you do, but you have like your thoughts on the episode as you watch it and then the discussion with us. But then throughout the week, it kind of ruminates and you just think on it a little bit, which is why I'm glad, we can't do that with a live show, but we can do it with a another show, which we do the 2 episodes.
Right.
Because it's like the perfect balance of we're going kind of fast. We're twice the speed of getting through the season, but there's also a break in between, which allows for that, distillation and feeling of the characters and the episode to kind of go with you through the week. So,
yes.
Yeah. As that's happened, my love for the characters has increased. Method and Gyanu. It's that's how you say it, right?
I think
Gyanu?
so. Yeah,
I think it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't want him to die. And I refuse to acknowledge that it'll happen. And I hope I'm proven right. I fear I might be proven wrong. But I will deny it until it happens.
You may have reality thrust upon you, unfortunately.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, do you think that maybe this is about the demon? He's going to have some magnificent end?
Be. Yeah, but
possibility?
Magnificent and demons are 2 kind of words that don't think it'll mix. Not in the way that demons have been portrayed. Maybe yeah, because when you think of magnificent, you do think of grandiose, but you also think of there's a certain royalty about it. I don't know if that's even the right word.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's the aspect of a demon that I'm just I don't know, bro. These 2 things don't match up.
Okay, how about magnificent in the sense that this demon clearly loves fighting. Like their body's literally designed for it. They've got 4 arms so they can wield 4 swords. What if the battle that they have is so awesome and magnificent that they're like, oh, okay, I'm so glad I could have a magnificent end.
I am adopting that. Yes. The battle itself could be glorious. Yes.
Or
there we go.
Or a magnificent end because Frieren comes in and just does some magnificently incredible spell that's just that was magnificent. That ending was amazing. She just came and closed out.
Maybe. I don't know if that'd be... the spell itself could be magnificent and everything, but yeah, maybe, I guess. I feel like that's less likely. She could still come and help, but I don't know if her helping alone would generate this kind of title. I feel like something else would. But
all right, fair.
Let's just hope it's the battle.
Yes, I knew that. I should have known better to look for some grains of hope from our resident George here, who's resident bad things are about to happen.
Listen,
so
you hope for the best. Prepare for the worst.
Yeah, I know.
That's how I live my life.
Yeah,
and so I'm hoping for the best, but I'm bracing for the worst. And I won't be disappointed when I'm, met with a magnificent end, whatever that may be.
Whatever that means. Great. All right. Well, let's find out, shall we?
Let's do it.
Oh!
Oh! Oh, it's like raining freaking blades. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. And now he can be offensive on the... Oh, wow. Look at this.
No way. No!
Sheesh.
Bro!
Holy frick,
Yanu!
bro. He's crazy. Oh!
I was...
Oh, that's not
Oh,
good.
jeez. Whoa! Oh, gosh.
Bro, Stark's
Come
crazy.
on, Stark.
Oh!
Jeez, dude. And there's one more demon out there still.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
He's got to go on reflex.
Oh, jeez, bro.
Oh!
Oh!
What? What?
Oh,
What?
this is a bluff.
What? No
This is a
way,
bluff.
Stark. It's like what he did.
Oh! Oh! Bro, let's go.
No way, dude.
Okay.
It's over this quick?
No. The other demon's gonna come save him.
Oh, no.
It's about something
Oh,
about the
no.
other freaking demon. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Dude.
No way.
No!
No way.
Oh.
He protected her.
Yeah.
He's gone. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, 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 no. No,
No
Frank.
way.
Frank. It's... No.
It is a demon! It's her. Oh! Let's go. Let's freaking go.
No.
Uh,
やはり私の読みは正しかった。人には子供をかばう習性が。
freaking this guy, dude.
人にそんな習性があったら、世界はもっと平和になっているだろうさ。
Jeez,
Wow,
what a
what a
grim thing
statement.
to say.
Yeah.
この子は少し優しすぎたのかもしれんな。いつの時代もそうだ。
Wow.
Same in every era.
長生きできん。優しさのかけらもない。
Hmm.
ずっとそのままでいる。
Oh,
To stay alive.
仰せ。
yeah.
やっぱり柄でもないことはするものじゃないな。
Where's Stark?
Oh! No,
No way.
way.
驚いた。私の剣を正面から受け止められる戦士。
No way! What?
死んだふりでもしていればいいものを。
That's not our boy, dude.
それじゃ負けだろ。
No freaking way, dude.
Still said it. Ah, bro.
I
Stark
can't
is the
believe
goat.
ただのバカだな。
No way, he's still going.
私も付き合う。
Walk into the jaws of death with you, Stark.
追い詰められる。
Holy frick, bro.
Oh, no, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Oh, they
dude,
curved.
these things are like homing missiles.
フリーレン様いつの間にかいなくな
Oh,
っているし
Frieren. Jeez.
Oh, she's gonna try and disperse this cloud thing, I
君
think.
の見物っていうのも悪くはない
Bro, Frieren, please. Oh my gosh.
この世に魔力を完全に消せる生物はいないからな。
True. Holy jeez. Holy frick, Fern. What? How did he block that?
攻撃も防がれてしまう
How?
相性が悪い
Oh no. This is the battle I'm most afraid of. Oh,
Oh.
jeez.
So close.
Oh,
Dang.
that was crazy.
メドロジュバル
Unconventional magic.
Oh, jeez, that's so sick.
Dude.
ユーザーの 前の相手は
Yeah, please focus. Oh my gosh.
Oh, so close, dude.
フェルンさんと協力して打ち崩すのが最適解だと思いますが
But she can't find
こ
her.
の霧にはおそらく強力な魔力探知効果もあります
Oh boy.
Heck me, bro.
魔法の霧が晴れれば戦局が大きく動き
Frieren, please. I
Okay,
beg
that's
you.
what Frieren's trying to do.
What? She's gonna do it?
Oh, dude, that's sick. Holy crap.
What is this? What is this?
Oh, it's her hypnosis thing?
Whoa!
Look at that smile.
No way! I don't believe it.
この
Let's go.
北部高原で魔族を飼っていた一族の戦い方に
No way, no way.
Dude, there's a demon hunting clan. Let's freaking go.
見るようなイかれた一族だ
That's where she's from? Is that why she got sent here? Oh my gosh, dude, this is amazing.
Oh,
How is he still
dude.
going?
Yeah, he's so fast, dude. Oh my gosh.
Oh, jeez, dude. Oh, gosh, dang. Frick. Dude, he's so fucking big. Holy frick. Oh, dude. Stark, you are a lunatic. Oh my gosh, Stark. You're so cool, dude. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, it worked.
I guess, but
Uh-oh.
like... Oh, gosh.
Oh.
Thank goodness.
And the
But where's
music's
the
popping
axe?
off too.
It really is. There it is. No way, Stark.
Oh! No way, they broke?
He broke,
He
dude.
broke his magical swords, dude.
さすがにもう剣の魔力を維持する
Oh, that's right. It's mana swords.
いなかったか
I totally forgot. Oh, it's 3. Okay, okay.
3 to go.
なんだこの違和感は
That's not actually her?
凄まじい猛攻だわなぜか
She's trying to disperse the mana?
あらやはり
Okay, my assessment is she's using her explosions to disperse the fog. The fog has to then be reset or like re-pushed back to the areas or regrown or whatever, which is going to use mana from the guy. So she's like depleting mana from the other guy, which will maybe affect him and his mana supply
And give
or
Fern
his
a fighting
focus.
chance.
Right, to give Fern a fighting chance. Or maybe he's
that's
got to
it, yeah.
pull the fog away from one area to fill this area, which gets her out of the fog, right? Maybe. That's...
Sure, yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like she's saying, like, there's no bloodlust, so she's not aiming for her. She's just shooting them fucking everywhere, right? That's my fucking
Yeah.
assumption.
戦いしか知らない者は戦いのための魔法しか覚えない
Oh? Utility spells?
この状況は打開できない
So she is from that clan.
She is.
楽しいものだと彼らは知らない
Oh, Method is amazing.
エリル・フラーテ
No way, she dispelled the whole thing!
She just did it.
No freaking way. And it's gone.
It's gone.
が晴れた
Get wrecked.
無駄なこと霧などいくらでも作り出せる
No, bro, this is the opening Fern needed.
She's gone. Oh, you're
Let's
so
go.
cooked! You are so cooked, bro!
Oh,
Oh,
dang,
you're
dude.
so done! She knew that in just a moment it was all she would need.
Yeah.
And here she
Oh.
is. You're so cooked. Oh no. She's cooked right from the moon. Oh, she sniped the frick out
No
of her.
way.
That's amazing.
やるねフェルン
Not bad, Fern. Let's go, dude.
This is so sick.
会話したくないです
Oh,
Unfortunately, I feel like there's gonna be more coming.
it's only gonna get worse. Oh, 2.
There's go. 2.
And a block. And 1 sword down, too.
There's
It's
that's
over,
it.
bro.
終わりだレボルテ
No.
Oh! No
素手
way.
はなり得ない 人間の発想だ。
Bro, these are deadly wounds, dude.
戦えないと思い込む。
Oh!
思い込みか。それは人も魔族も変わらないな。
Oh!
お前は人間のしぶとさを知らない。
Oh!
Frickin'
What?
Stark, how do you keep going after that, dude? Oh, that look.
Oh, dude, he's pissed.
Cleaving light.
Dude, what a shot.
He's still going.
Still going. And you're cooked, bro.
That's his head.
Bro, Stark is fricked. They're both
Dude,
fricked.
they need medical attention right now, man.
It's almost a little too late for that. Holy frick. No way, dude. He's like, it's like punched right through his freaking chest.
Yeah, like,
Oh my gosh.
oh gosh. He's gonna give his life to save Stark. The last of his mana.
But how? Like, I don't know if you could even do that.
I don't think you can.
Oh my gosh. Holy frick, bro. This is so brutal. Ugh. Jeez. You're gonna cut like that? Are you serious? They're both alive! Oh my gosh!
Way.
シュタルクは
危ない状態でしたが一命を取り留めました。
Oh my freaking gosh,
Dude.
dude.
レナウさんよりも治療を優先させたので
He was
He
still
pointed.
trying.
Oh,
Did you see poor Fern?
I
Didn't
know.
know what to do.
Oh. Woo.
I can't believe it, dude. I thought he was a goner for sure. I
Oh.
didn't think
I know.
Frieren
Holy
sleeping on him.
jeez.
もしかしてシュタルク様って
A freak of nature is right. Thank goodness for that.
That's so mean.
このパーティーって僧侶がいないんですね。
It did.
No way.
私この任務が終わったらしばらくフリーになる
Imagine.
Oh, wait, she gonna join?
同行しましょう。
Imagine.
北部高原は僧侶の魔法がないと危険ですか
Yes. Clearly.
丈夫だよ。
Oh,
回復魔法のような高度な魔法は無理だけど、
No.
それにね、
Oh.
なんだかメトーデがいるとフェルンが不機嫌になる。
Freaking Fern, dude.
嫌われてしまいましたね。
Oh no.
私フェルンさんのことも大好きですよ。怒っているのも可
She stopped being angry.
手段を到着した
Bruh.
Bro, Method was crazy.
怪我の具合は
Yeah, dude.
バッチリ問題ないぜ。
They all
Oh.
were.
Yeah.
愛い。またね。
ああ
またどこかで。
Wow.
I hope they do. I really like these two.
I know. This is crazy, bro. What an episode. Wow.
Oh. Dude, these guys are G's, man, for doing all this.
Yeah.
このパーティーの僧侶はザインでしょ。
そうじゃなくて、綺麗なお姉さんだぜ。合流した時ザインにいろいろ言われるんじゃないか。
別にいいんじゃない。このパーティーに
Oh my gosh,
Oh
bro.
my gosh, Frieren.
それもそうだな。
Maybe you shouldn't agree with her.
Oh,
Holy frick, bro.
Wow.
Woo.
what an episode, dude. What an
Oh.
episode.
Wow. Woo. Wow.
I thought
that
he was dead. I'm shocked he's alive.
I
didn't
agree.
think Stark would die because he's also a warrior, right? So like inherently you just assume he's like got more toughness, I guess, to like
Right.
survive a fatal wound like that. And he's also part of the main cast, so I was just
Right.
like, nah, there's no way. That was wild. That
Wow.
was freaking insane.
Wow.
Dang.
That frickin'
Dang.
that frickin' Fern seeing Stark on the ground. I was like, "Ugh, I'm gonna die. Holy frick. Poor Fern. Poor Stark. Holy frick. That's
Ugh.
crazy. Yeah, that was an incredible episode. One of the best of the series and easily the best of the season.
That was really good. That was really, really good.
Wow.
Oh man, I'm just like elated that everybody's alive.
I know.
I thought Keanu was dead. I thought he was a goner. I already said it, but
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
I'm shocked too.
And just they played that scene so long of him just like crawling on the ground, just like trying to get to Stark, dude. It's just like, bro,
it's set up exactly for that to happen. Like he's gonna do something, or he's just not gonna make it, and then they cut it just out of freaking nowhere, and then all of a sudden he's awake, and it's just like, what?
Yeah.
Like what? And Method is absolutely insane.
Demon.
She didn't even take a hit.
Oh.
She's nuts.
She's like the jack of all trades in a sense, but like good at a lot of trades. She's like really good at fighting. She could decipher that fog spell, how to undo it. She was making a clone of herself.
Yeah.
The only other guy who I've seen do that is that blonde dude with the glasses.
What's his face? Yeah, she's got clones. She's got powers where she can like touch or hug people to like hypnosis them, right? There was that hypnosis stuff. Yeah, she was able to reverse engineer the fog. She's got freaking these red explosive shots. She's got the healing. Like she helped Stark figure out that the dude was four-handed. The demon was a four-handed demon. Yeah, you know what? and you know what? That says something to her prowess. She was able to hold those swords and do like kind of what Stark was doing. Like she knows martial arts.
Yeah, she was strong, yeah.
Like
and that too.
And her staff is like an axe. She's literally like the red mage of frickin' Frieren. She's like the everything mage.
Fair?
It's actually like exactly what she is, which is why one of my favorite fricking archetypes ever is that. So and she freaking likes the cute, adorable characters too. Like,
oh my!
Could there be a better freaking fill-in for myself? I got my own new self-insert in Frieren, bro. Let's freaking go.
Okay, bro. All right. Yeah, like apparently the clan she's from just uses magic for fighting, but she's like they would have never been able to figure this out because they don't know how fun magic can be. So that's like another point plus. She's like enjoys just the whole concept of magic, which I almost struggle to. Actually, no, I was gonna say I almost struggle to figure out or like to think how anybody could not find it incredibly fascinating, but you know. There's so many things in this world that I'm just like, it's not for me. And, you know, these are people that have grown up with magic. It's just like any other thing, like, you know, biology or whatever, right? And
there's people who technology is essentially modern day magic in many senses. And there's many people who just don't care about technology at all, right? They just think like, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah. So, it doesn't actually surprise me that there'd be people who wouldn't find it interesting magic. I would. I'd like to think that I'd be like, bro, this is the coolest freaking thing ever.
Yeah, for sure.
And I get to kill demons? Let's go.
Hell yeah. But if you told people 200 years ago about the technology we had today, they would think this is probably the same thing. They'd be like, yeah, that sounds incredible. You put food in a box and you click a button for how many minutes you want, and the food is just warmed in 1 minute and like it's ready to go. Yeah,
or
that
your
sounds
food
awesome.
Is perpetually cold and never goes bad. Well, like it does go bad, right? But it doesn't like spoil from just, you know, all these things. Yeah. Yeah. True.
Yep. Plumbing.
Technology is
enough said.
Plumbing. Yeah. Electricity, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Dang.
Wow.
What a freaking episode. And in the end, we found out that Keanu is indeed a good guy. As much as he tries to pretend otherwise.
Yep.
And maybe this experience changed him and made him more of a quote unquote good guy than he otherwise would have been.
I don't know.
Or maybe he was always like that.
I think it's the opposite.
Latent.
I think he will increase internally in his good guyedness, but I think externally he will become harder because he made a mistake in this battle that he shouldn't have made, and he's going to think twice now about making such a similar mistake.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there is that.
He even chastised himself
for the demon.
Yeah, he chastised himself mid-battle. He's like, I knew there wasn't a person. I acted on instinct, and that was not the right move. So,
yeah.
And I mean, I will take the L, George. I will take the L. Okay?
About
Turns
the
out
demon girl?
She was bad. I was wrong.
100%. They're demons, man. They're demons.
It's just unfortunate. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. It's just unfortunate. She was a precious demon girl, and she had to go, which is sad. Makes me sad.
Well, I'm glad
we did have one casualty.
Are gone.
The casualty
was not a casualty. No casualty.
No, George, the casualty was in my heart. That was the casualty.
Okay. All right, bro.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. I knew there was something off, but I didn't expect it necessarily to be that. I was like, something's not right. Like, she shouldn't be there. Like, there's no way that there's another kid. I guess there could be, but yeah, I don't know. There was something tickling at the back of my head, but I couldn't figure out until it had happened. And I was like, frick me. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting her to come out just like...
Yeah, and attack him.
When he was... Yeah, to attack him.
Yeah.
I did expect her to come out when he was, on the defense. When he was, holding her back as like a trump card to get out of a hairy situation, which did happen. But I was expecting her to like be offensive about it, just like come up and attack as opposed to pretend to be a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad.
And that wing spell, that was sick.
Crazy.
That was a sick spell.
Crazy, yeah. Yeah, it was an awesome episode. It was as good, honestly, it's as good as I possibly could have hoped. It really, it didn't have a really sad, disappointing part, which, Method dying. Method was the least, other than Frieren, she was the least in danger of all. Like, that's crazy. So my worries were totally misplaced. And freaking even Ganu didn't die, which is crazy. So, yeah. And then the action was absolutely peak. It was tense. Like, they even had me fearing for Stark, which is like, I know he won't die, but like, I'm really kind of freaked out right now, though, even still.
Yeah.
Holy frick.
Do you think, though, that we'll ever get a death?
Oh, for sure. Undoubtedly.
Yeah, this really has got me thinking of like, okay, if there ever was a time to give us a death, I feel like it would have been Gianu here. Not that I'm asking for it, right?
Sure.
But it was like, it had been kind of signaled pretty strongly that this was a very good, strong possibility for him. Especially like at the end, it's just kind of ironic, I guess, maybe not the right word, but like dying a similar way as his old partner, right? Defending a child, even though it was a demon, caused all these other things and stuff. And like the whole, although I do think his partner's was maybe the sword. I don't know if it was necessarily the hand, but either way, getting stabbed through the gut and all that stuff. So yeah, I thought he was going to be dead there, but no, but they pulled back. So like, when else, right? Like, are we waiting to, are they waiting for us to fall in love with the character even more and then pull something like that off, which would suck, right? But, maybe we never go without deaths and stuff. And it also like makes me wonder, okay, we have this whole plot of going north, but there seems to be this like slowly brewing, and I guess not so slowly actually, like quickly brewing thing of the demons are back. They waited till the death of Himmel the hero, and now that he's gone, they've started to make their moves again, and the North is hurting. I don't know what sort of hierarchies or organization or anything like demons might have, but like, I don't know. Are we going straight back into the age of a new demon king? I do wonder about that. Like, what is this? Is it really going to be just skirmishes with demons throughout the whole till the end? And maybe, you know, certain skirmishes are more like, well, this province of the north is under the control of this one super strong demon, and we're going to have to kill it before we can cross XYZ bridge or whatever river or whatever. So it like makes it like a, yes, this is now a contained little arc, but it's not like a wide thing as like the Demon King, which seems, if I understand, you know, what Himmel and his gang did was like a existential threat to the whole world as opposed to just like a regional threat.
Right.
So I wonder how they're gonna handle that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think that it wouldn't be surprising if we did wind up with a, you know, maybe not a one-to-one demon lord situation, but at some point, like, they're going to come across, like, you know, this is setting up the dominoes of, like, yeah, there is a big demon threat, and there is a big bad demon guy who is, you know, around the area that the other Demon King was, and he needs to be freaking dealt with, and because they're kind of causing trouble. I could see that totally happening. Because, like, the thing about the beginning of Frieren is it was about the end of the journey, right? The Demon King adventure and battle is over. So it's like, oh, like in one sense it's like, that's cool and interesting, actually. Like I'm interested to see this. But then at the same time, it's like, well, that kind of sucks that we didn't get that big adventure and then fighting the Demon Lord at the end, because that's kind of like the thing that everyone really loves. So I think in some way it's kind of like they are doing that, except it's the focus is different. They don't know totally that they're doing that, but they are kind of playing into that journey to fight the Demon Lord. They just don't know it yet. So
yeah, because in any other show, I'd be like, wow, this is lame. Everything that Himmel the hero did and everything just like was for nothing. Like, what's the point? But like slowly they've showcased, well, it's not that it didn't matter. It's just that, like, you know, nothing is permanent. Yes. It's going to, you're seeing it through the eyes of someone who sees eras and eons and everything. And like, yes, of course, you're going to have peace for a time, but unless, you know, there's some way to prevent demons from being conjured up permanently, like, you're going to have threats again. And we've had other heroes in the past that have done it. We have Himmel right now, which is kind of this era's hero. But then we're going to need heroes in the future as well, right? And like sometimes, you know, they had peace, like, this is 29 years after the death of Himmel the hero. So they had like 80 years of peace-ish, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, the heroes win eras of peace, essentially, right? Until the next stuff crops up. Yeah. Yeah, it really is that. It's all about the cycle, right? It's all about the heroes are going to do a thing. And, you know, we kind of talked about this recently in one of the recent videos, right, of Frieren, where there's just those eras and there's going to be peace and there's going to be war, and that's kind of the way history runs. And yeah, you're right, because that's the focus of the story. The focus is that it's going to be an ongoing thing. Like the annals of history continue to churn, and there's going to be people that come up through history to make corrections, and there's going to be people who go throughout history and are going to cause problems. So that's just the way it goes. Yeah. As for the death stuff that you were wondering about, I think the reason that maybe they didn't do a death here, even though like from a literary perspective, it like pretty much would have been perfect. I guess it's the right place to put it. I think the thing I like about Frieren is like, it's not really focused necessarily on what the right narrative thing or the obvious narrative thing is. Like, you know, it's just, I don't know if it's a subverting expectations or if it's the more realistic thing, or the like, listen, it's not always going to go according to what you think the story should go. It's going to go according to what the author wants it to be. And so whatever the decision is and how they decided that, I think there will be a death, but it's not necessarily going to be every time that like you think, well, it narratively makes sense that this will be the time that he dies and it'll be poetic and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, it's going to come, but it's just going to be more realistic, and it's going to be a way that you may not expect. And that's what I'm thinking that they're going for.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that this was the perfect place to insert the death. I'm just saying that like enough flags were tipped over, or whatever the term is, for a death to happen, right? Doesn't mean
Right.
they have to, pull the trigger and execute, but it's just like if there was to be a death, like, it's like you would, a death would feel so lame is they're just walking and Stark falls off a cliff because he slipped and then he's dead. And we
Sure.
just continue. It's like, he's dead, right? It's just like, nah. Like, but this was if the death did happen here, it'd be like, okay, well, we understand. Right. But yeah, so maybe we don't get a death.
Maybe.
I actually wouldn't necessarily mind that.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel you.
I've compared this to Lord of the Rings a lot, and there are deaths there, but if they're like super main cast, no one dies. And
Spoilers.
it doesn't sorry. It doesn't make their sacrifices feel any less earned. It
Right.
doesn't devalue their efforts. It's the lack of death is not a negative in any way in the story of Lord of the Rings. And I feel like lately there's so many shows where like death is commonplace, right? And like that's
Sure.
characters gotta die, gotta kill them all, right? And it's just
Right.
like, okay, realistically, sure, yeah. There's no, plot armor isn't very realistic. And if you're in a freaking battle, the chances of you dying are pretty high. And so
Yeah.
people will die. Exactly. Yeah. So, but like, again, you can totally write a show where no one important dies. I'm not saying the deaths in Lord of the Rings weren't important, so don't misunderstand me. But no one important dies, and it doesn't diminish the story at all. So maybe not. Maybe we don't get a death.
Yeah, I like a story where death is omnipresent and a real factor, but is very rare and is always well earned and well fought for, in the sense of like, if someone's gonna die, it's really gotta be like they really fucking tried to die kind of thing, right? Like that's not quite the right way to put it, but the sense is like,
Yeah.
they've really gotta die. Like it's gotta be pretty brutal, and it's gotta be like, yeah, there's no coming back from this. And those instances are rare. Like I'm okay people being like pricked up really bad and maybe on the brink of death, and like deaths don't happen, but like sometimes it's just like, yeah, when it does happen though, it's convincingly this guy is dead, and it's rare and it's meaningful, and it like, because like there's a series that I love, maybe I won't name it specifically, but they have a lot of like meaningful deaths, but then the author likes to say that actually this character didn't die, in fact. And it's like, wait a second. This character literally was next to like a freaking neutron bomb that exploded, and that was like their sacrificial moment, and it was incredible. And now you're saying that they're alive? Because that's going to like underwrite the whole emotions of the scene. That's not good, right? And it's one of my freaking pet peeves about this particular series. And so like, I think death can have an incredible emotional impact, and like it in a way that like non-death can't. But not if it's like frequent, and not if it's cheap, and not if it's just death by itself. Like it's got to be the closer to something important. And so if it's all of those things, then I think death is great, because then having death as a omnipresent thing, something that you're afraid of but not terrified of constantly, but just something is there, I think is the best kind of, stakes, but not too much stakes. Like they could have killed Metho and they could have killed Ganu, but it is that balance of like, listen, death is there, and I still believe that it is, but it's not so there that you're constantly in fear. Like next time we have a battle, now I'm not going to be as nervous. I'm still going to be nervous because I do believe it could happen and it will happen at some point, but I'm not going to be as like, okay, they're constantly in peril. Every fight is peril. I'll feel imperiled when the situation starts to call for it, right? Instead of every battle, I'm like, oh, are they going to die this battle? It's like, no, when I see a perilous scenario, then I'm going to start to fear that death may be close. So that's I think the right balance to have, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. You want to feel comfortable. You want to feel comfortable enough to fall in love with the characters.
Right.
But you also got to be like, you got to be just on edge enough to be, well, I don't know. Like, can they all of them get out of this situation? I see what
Right.
you're trying to say.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't want to feel that
and I do
constantly
think
in like normal battles, but in perilous scenarios, you want to start to feel it creep. You feel the death creep kind of creeping. You're like, okay, things are getting crazy.
If they're dying left and right, like you almost put up walls. It's like, well, this character's cool and all, but like I can't get attached because they're gonna be dead in 2 episodes or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, and I do think you can have those same fears without ever pulling the trigger. I think you can. It's hard to pull off, and it's hard to execute. But again, I feel like Lord of the Rings does that masterfully. It's just there are other characters like Boromir, King Theoden, and stuff like. Yes, they're painful deaths, but it's like one thing if they die, and it's another thing if like Sam dies, right?
Sure.
If Sam dies, dude, I'm done. I'm done with the story. No freaking way. But there are times where it's just like, bro, are they gonna get out of this? I don't freaking know. And I'm like scared that they might not, but that they do. And it's like, okay, whew. And so you have that feeling, but then they never execute with the actual death.
But if you know, okay, so but what is it though? I want to break this fucking down. Then what is it though? Did you actually have fear because you weren't sure if they could actually die, or did you have fear because the situation was scary, but you knew that they weren't going to die because you knew that this is a show that doesn't pull the trigger? Because if it's a show that you're saying like, oh well, you don't have to pull the trigger, you can still pull it off. But if I know that that's the case, and this show time and time again has not pulled the trigger, I'm going to learn that, and then that fear will not be there like you're describing, right? They have to at least show once that they're willing to pull the trigger so that that fear is there. Even if they aren't going to pull it very often or maybe ever, there has to be some initialization of like, it can be done. Because if it's not initialized, then I won't believe that it can be done, so then I will never have that true fear. Right?
Okay, so well, let's say Frieren, Stark, and Fern, they're like our primary characters, and then we have Gyano and Method is like a secondary character.
Okay.
If a bunch of tertiary characters, not all at once, right, but like kind of throughout the story, they start approaching that like secondary character status, but they don't quite, for whatever reason, and I can't think of an exact example, but just bear with me here on the hypothetical. They never fully arrive at secondary character status, but just right as they were going to get there, boom, they're taken out. But we have very perilous situations with our primary and secondary characters to the point it's like, oh man, like this is an insane. I don't know if anybody can if they can survive this or if they can get out of this and stuff like that. I feel like that's how you can do it, where you don't pull the trigger on anything secondary and above. But in addition to that, you have tertiary characters that are on their way also die, and these like perilous situations where it's just like nail biting, like this battle, are few and far between. I think if you have those 3 things, I think that's how you pull it off. You have the tertiary characters killed off at certain moments. You have these perilous situations be few and far between. And what was the third thing I said? I was trying to summarize what I just said, and I literally just forgot.
I'm paying attention to your listing now. Now I've forgotten, frick.
Anyways, hopefully the hypothetical made sense. Do you think you'd be able to get in that headspace? Because that's literally what's happened here.
So the assumption is that I don't know if the show will kill secondary characters above, but because they've done a tertiary character that was close to being secondary, I'm now left unsure if that's the case, or is it because they've killed a tertiary character, but I know that they're not going to kill a secondary character? Do I know or not that they're not going to kill a secondary, or am I not sure?
Let's take the example of Frieren. We actually don't know. We don't know if they're ever going to kill a secondary character. So far, trying to think of like the characters that have died, I don't think anybody's been on the level of secondary character. So
yeah, I don't think we've lost anyone even in the mage. We lost some people that we didn't know. There were people who died in the mage trials, but no one that we directly knew.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
People have died in the mage trials. People have died to demons and then like villages, and like people really close to our secondary characters have all died, or to our
Right.
primary characters have all died.
But if
But we don't know.
If any supporting characters died, like the Yubels, the Denkins, the Speedy Girl, have any of those died? Any character like that died?
I don't think so. I can't
think
think of
so.
anybody.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I don't know. It's a good point. Yeah, the fact that Genu didn't die here and there haven't been any deaths at all leads me to believe that maybe Frieren is a show that won't. But maybe they're just pulling their punches for now and they're just waiting for the moment.
Maybe, yeah. Like, to be fair to you, going along with that, like using again the same example of Lord of the Rings, I would say that King Theoden and Boromir were secondary characters. Like, I think, they didn't kill any primary and above, and so maybe that's the balance that it needs to be. Maybe it doesn't have to be primary characters, but secondary
left
characters
questioning.
do die.
Yeah, and I think going to your point, to what I just said, I think the fact that I just said what I said means I think you have a point. That, like, I don't know. Like, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe the fact that I'm
so
saying,
far they haven't
like,
died,
right?
but we don't know exactly.
But I don't know.
Which
Are
means
they pulling their punches? It feels like they could be pulling their punches, but I don't know 100%. And so that's kind of what you were saying.
Yeah, exactly. I think Frieren so far has executed it flawlessly, because these super nail-biting moments, I don't know, when you think of Frieren, you think of a chill vibes, right? And so these crazy moments are few and far between. They're very tense. You don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I think it's because they only do this every so often that you're just like, okay, I actually don't know. They're leaving it up to your fears, I guess. Not necessarily your imagination, but your fears. So,
and we know that the demons do kill lots of people. Like, we see lots of death.
Yes.
It just doesn't happen to secondary named characters, basically. But we know that they're crazy deadly. So the threat is omnipresent, at least in that regard. I don't know. Do you think, though, so I'll concede that to you, that maybe the way they're doing it right now is the right approach. However, for a series, we don't know how long Frieren's going to be, but for a series to do this, do you think at some point they have to do a death, or will people just start catching on that, like, they're not going to kill? This isn't the kind of show that kills anyone, so that threat is now basically gone. Do you think at some point they do have to kill a secondary to, like, show, like, hey, we can do it, right? You thought we were only pulling punches because it's been a while since the beginning. We've never done it. Now we're going to do it, and we're going to reinstill the fear. And maybe we won't do it for the rest of the series, but we did at least one time to just make sure you know that it can be done, right? To reinstill the unknown that you felt at the beginning. But we're not going to do it ever again. We just, obviously, you won't know that. Or do you think they could just do it all the way through?
It's hard to say. They could probably do it all the way through, I think. It's hard to say, obviously. I don't know.
Right.
And I could very easily be proven wrong. And the other thing too is the whole point of something like this, of killing somebody off, is to show that there's real stakes happening.
Right.
But in reality, there are fates, quote unquote, worse than death. You don't necessarily have to die to feel the immense weight of some sort of arc or something that happened, right? Like, I don't really watch horror movies or read horror books very often, but I know that, like, as a writing staple, a fate worse than death in, like, kind of horror genre is where the protagonist becomes whatever grotesque monster is. Like, the mantle of this terror gets passed on to the protagonist and their soul is tortured or whatever. Yeah, that's a fate worse than death. Fair enough. But they didn't actually die, right? They kind of wish you would have in a horror genre, right? But maybe somebody's magic gets nullified. Maybe,
right.
Like, I'm trying to think, like, what could be, right? So, like, there are ways where you could be like, oh man, that was heavy, and not actually fully go down the death route.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then maybe at the end, they get to end day and they have the ability to do some magical spell that magically cures all the ailments or whatever, right? And it's like, at that point, it's just like, bro, depending on how crazy the slog is and how freaking grinding and terrible the struggle to get there is, at a certain point you actually become okay as a viewer. They're like, yes, heal everybody, just do the magical spell that undoes the evils in the world, right? Like,
Sure.
obviously there's a execution thing, how well it's executed, but if any show can pull it off, it'd be Frieren.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's a route in which, you know, we don't kill anybody, they face a fate worse than death, but then at the very, very end, after all the struggle and
Right,
toil
they can
and
undo
everything, it's just like, yeah, you're just like, and the huge weight is lifted and you actually enjoy it. I don't know. It'd be a hard thing to do, but so a long ramble to say I have no idea. I'm just enjoying the ride that Frieren is.
Sure. Yeah, it's true. I feel like if the show isn't going to have death, but they come up with like some demon shows up and it's like this demon saps your ability to use mana, and then like there's some secondary characters around, I feel like it's just going to be too obvious to be like, okay, they're not going to kill these characters, someone's going to lose their ability to use magic since this was just introduced. It'll be a little too obvious. I think they'd have to play the long game with elements like that. They like introduce something, threaten it a bit, but then don't do anything with it for a while, and then have that thing that you were afraid of a while back happen now in the future. I think that's the way they'd have to go about it if they're not going to do death. But I mean, this is the second time we've had a very similar conversation, so people must be bored. I'm sorry for bringing it up. It's just something I'm thinking about, okay? I promise maybe that we won't talk about this same
We'll bring it
topic
up again,
next
I'm
time.
sure. I'm sure next fight that someone gets spared,
no.
we're going to be like, bro, you
Yeah,
think
we'll
they're
just-
ever going to kill anybody?
We'll leave a footnote, be like, watch these, episodes, and then, it'll be fine. All right, well, let's get to some comments, shall we?
Let's do it.
Alrighty, I got 2 comments that I'm going to read together. I'm going to merge these comments together like frickin' fusion over here. So first, I've got Seno Eric Kruger. I've got a comment from you, and I've got a comment from Alexander Forsman. You both gave comments about the Neo wing, or the Niello wings. So I'm going to kind of combine these comments as I read them. So Niello wings, Niello is like a filler metal or composition of metal, which Alexander says is a black mixture, usually of sulfur, copper, silver, and lead. That may, and then going back to Seno, that means the wings are dense and hard like metal. Each fur is going to be sharp blades and shield at the same time, which absolutely had no freaking idea about. That this is like a known mixture. This is actually so sick. This is like a real thing. And yeah, it turned out it was.
And he could fly
awesome.
with them.
And he
or
could
maybe
fly
he was
with
just
them.
flying with his mana and not necessarily.
That's a good
with the
point.
wings themselves.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, so that was so cool. What a really interesting aspect of the fight, these like kind of wings. These are the kind of things you would find in like a monster, or like even just like an enemy of some variety, like these like sharp knife wings that they shoot, blade feathers at. But it was on one of the freaking good guys, and it made for some really freaking peak cinema. So appreciate those explanations as to what those wings were all about. It was very freaking cool. So
Indeed. Yeah, the magic in Frieren is cool. Like we're used to seeing Fern and Frieren's very kind of straightforward. Well, aside from that, like fight with the clone, like whatever magic was used there, bro, that was something
crazy.
else.
Yeah.
But like Fern, like Zoltrak is, her signature go-to thing, and like it's fine because it gets the job done and stuff. But like we got freaking wings, we got like cutting, we got these like whatever red balls orb things that would explode. We got petals turning into metal. Like we got like ice, and it's kind of more traditional ice and like water magic and stuff. But like that's something I really like. Everything is very varied and kind of tailored to the type of magic that each mage finds interesting and stuff, which is pretty sick.
Yeah, and it's very similar to like shows that have characters like, My Hero Academia is a great, just easy example. Like characters will have like a power, right? Like essentially a lot of the characters in Frieren have like a power. It's not even magic. They just have like an ability, right? As you would traditionally think a superhero to have. But the great thing about Frieren is like you have that like focus, that one thing that you like specialize in, but they also give some like flexibility to be like, okay, you've got like this earth power, but we can be flexible and like give him some other freaking abilities that will either augment that in a way that typically a power wouldn't be able to, or just give him access to a variety arsenal of things that normally the character wouldn't have access to, right? So I feel like it's an even more, they're using all of the good narrative aspects and intrigue of characters having a specific power that they're good at and that you associate with them, while also leaving themselves the options to have interesting external things, or, you know, external to that one power. So like, you know, just different magic types and abilities and spells and utility and stuff like that. So it lends itself really well. It's such a smart way to do it. Because usually, like, you would think magic is just like, well, you just have access to a bunch of spells and there's no like identity to it, right? It's just like, well, everyone's a mage and everyone has access to magic, right? And that's just kind of how it goes. And which is great in some aspects, but having like an identity along with the option of alternatives is probably one of the best ways to go about doing it. So it's super smart.
Yeah, it is a very smart way of dealing with the magic. I think part of it is because the way they structured it is you essentially can do what you can imagine, right? And like everybody's imagination is like slightly different, and so they'll naturally gravitate to stuff that's, you know, that they personally have more affinity with. But at the same time, the knowledge, the collective pool of just magic, they can pull from any, you know, area in this giant sphere, this giant universe, right? Like a lot of it is like, can they even imagine it? Have they read the grimoire for whatever that spell might be? And stuff. So like everybody has the same potential, but they have different applications of that according to their own personal imagination and knowledge and stuff like that. So yeah, it's cool. It's really cool.
And we've likened, on that note, the spell kind of explanations that they've had like throughout the season 1 and even the mini series that we watch and stuff like that. They've talked a lot about how, or we have also likened spell crafting to programming, but it's also equals as much kind of like dreaming as it is programming. Because, you know, in a dream, like, I don't know, I have dreams constantly, like every night I'm dreaming. And so, or at least I remember my dreams. You know, maybe everyone dreams always, but it's a factor of remembering. But regardless,
I hardly remember my dreams.
Regardless, dreaming is for people who dream a lot, you'll notice that when you're dreaming and you become aware to some small degree that you're dreaming, or you become aware of a scenario or a potential scenario, you find that just having an inkling of a thought about a thing that could happen will cause generally that thing to happen in the dream. So if I see like a door and I think for even just a second, I hope something freaking scary isn't behind that door, that's more than likely going to cause that scary thing to happen, because you have like that belief now that it could be, that thing could come into existence, right? And so the magic in Frieren is one part programming. You need to know how to structure it, but you also need to have like this belief that like it can be done. Because if you don't believe in it strongly enough, you won't be able to manifest the mana through that program and have it like activate. It's a super unique system. I can't think of any other like magic system that's like, well, maybe there's a lot of fantasy magic out there, so maybe I have heard of some, but it's pretty unique at least. So
it's very loosely structured, but it has just enough structure for the things to make sense.
Yes.
But it has like barely any structure to the point where you're just like, yeah, red balls make sense that she'd be able to do that. Sure, fair.
Sure. It's basically Dragon Ball Z, but you know, it's fine.
Yeah, there you go. But thank you guys for your comments. Mine, I got 4 different comments here, but they're all kind of along the same theme here. So let me just shoot them all out, spitfire, and then I'll talk about them. The first one is from YouTube, wow_Horak 4663. I did read your whole comment. However, I want to highlight just the middle section, which says, demons develop their personalities by imitating behaviors of humans they observe. So for the little demon, the little girl demon, how many precious inquisitive children did she kill and eat before she developed her precious inquisitive personality?
Okay, I don't like this comment.
that sets the baseline of the comments that I'm about to read, which is the next one is from Miaoi, Miiaoi. I hope I say that right. Miaoi 879, which says, remember, dudes, the only use Goblin Slayer logic. The only good goblin is a dead goblin. It applies to demons on Frieren as well. And then the last one is from CC-NT4ZI. Zoltrak right to the face needs to be on a shirt. And then ADSPA, ESPIAY, Zoltrak right to the face. Yo, I think George is onto something. All these say, you learned a valuable lesson, Graham. And I'm glad you're now with enlightened George, where demons don't give them any quarter. They freaking need Zoltrak right to the face, dude. Doesn't have to be Zoltrak. It could be a spear to the heart. It could be an arrow to the heart. You can decapitate him with a sword. You can decapitate him with an axe. You can decapitate him with a couple hatchets. You can do a halberd.
George.
You can burn them. You can have a boulder land on top of them. You can tie a freaking lead ball and throw them in the bottom of the ocean. Could be a lake too. Doesn't necessarily have to be an ocean. Could be a lake. As long as their hands are tied and they can't free themselves, you can put them in a magical prison. You can throw them in a volcano.
Yeah.
You can. I'm just saying, dude. Yeah, I'm just saying. There's many ways to get rid of these demons. Doesn't matter if they're a giant snake dude or some tiny little girl. They freaking need to die. That's it. That's all. That's all there is to it.
You see what I have to put
I don't
want
to be cruel. If you could just do a Zoltrak right to the face, get it over with, I don't want to necessarily torture the demon. But if some village somewhere found it within themselves to try and get revenge somehow on a demon by doing that, I'd probably put it out of its misery. But the villagers wouldn't hear a peep from me. I'd just say, all right, guys, I get it. This is a demon. We shouldn't show any empathy or feel bad for it.
Wow.
All right. You've satisfied your bloodlust. That's okay. If another demon comes by and you happen to do the same thing again, maybe try killing it a little quicker. But I get it. I get it.
Laying it on thick today, George, huh? That's great. That you're really going all the way. You got to get it all out, huh?
That's not laying it on thick, dude. That's I'm barely getting started. You see the runtime of the video right now, guys? That's how long I could go with more creative ways of killing demons. I just don't because, we don't want a whole video of that, but I could do it. I could take a break maybe just for like a cup of water just so my mouth doesn't get dry, but then I'd keep going. And then I'd keep going after that.
That's great, George. That's so great. I'm so happy for you. I'm so glad that you're gracious, not kicking a man when he's down, not trying to take advantage of my humility. That is so nice. I'm so glad we were both humble and graceful with this whole scenario. That's so wonderful.
I have been very gracious. I have. I've been merciful by just only rambling on for a couple minutes as opposed to a couple hours.
Oh, I can feel the mercy washing over me right now, George. It's an incredible feeling.
Well, with that out of the way, hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction. It was a fire episode. It flew by fast. But if you want to see the other stuff that we're watching right now, 2 weeks ahead of time, check out the Patreon or the channel membership. Check out all the playlists. If you happen to be new to the channel through this episode, we've already watched all of season 1. And that's on the channel, so check that out. But with that, we'll see you guys next week.
Hey, everybody.
Take care.